What's up? I am Shafira Ainithos.
And I'm Shaleia
We're from DivineGuidanceReadings.net. And today we're here to talk to you about sex. But really celibacy.
Celibacy.
So Shaleia and I have chosen to be celibate until further notice. And we wanted to explain why and share this sort of aspect of our lives, our sex life with you.
So the story begins back in June of 2014 when we had our first physical meeting. We'd been online dating for a couple months prior, and there'd been sexual energy transactions over webcam. But, you know, that's just kind of play and kind of fun. It's very limiting. We all know that. So, from June to probably sometime around fall, we were pretty sexually active, especially the first couple months. From like June to August, September, we were highly sexually active. And we started noticing our sex was starting to like dwindle down. It was like really high and so much, and that's normal too because we just started. That was like, you know, in the beginning, you know, you always kind of like rabbits, you're excited. But I noticed like my body was not open to receiving his penis as much, and I wasn't getting turned on, and I was just desiring to, I don't know, I just didn't have a desire to have sex. Although I'm very attracted to my partner, I don't look at him like with sexual, like it's not like sexual for me. Like our love is very spiritual. It's very true. It's very real. It's beyond earthly love. And what I mean about earthly love is earthly being like sexual. It's very much in the, I don't know, I'm going to say the higher realms, I guess. Like we really connect on so many different higher dimensions that if one of us for some reason were no longer able to have sex, it wouldn't really be a problem in this relationship at all. So moving forward to today, you know, well, let me just backtrack a little bit. It did take me some time to honor my body and honor my voice, and realizing that my body was, sex was really intense between us. And also the duration of sex started to get shorter and shorter with us. We'd have like long sessions in the beginning of our sexual encounters in the beginning, and then it also got shorter and shorter. And I mean, it was just, we'd be blissed out, you know, and we'd just be like in this high for days. But it would also bring up a lot of stuff.
So this is the reason that we're choosing celibacy. And
yeah,
about to touch
this is
on
pretty much it.
So what we found is that when we have sex, us in particular, and I'll get to that particular point in a minute, but when we have sex, we go really deep with our sex, and it becomes extraordinarily intimate and loving. And what happens is the rest of our life, a whole lot of stuff starts to happen on the outside because so much is happening on the inside. Mm-hmm. So what we found out when we were doing card readings and talking to Divine Mother is that our sex is a tool for our ascension. And here's how we know this, is when we have sex, it's rarely simply a carnal experience, and there's a massive upheaval the more sex we have, or the more intense or long our sessions are.
Yeah. So
the reason we're choosing celibacy right now is because we're aware that our sex is a tool for our ascension. So what I mean by this is, just reiterating, as we go deeper into our intimacy, deeper into loving, everything out of alignment with that love comes to the surface to be healed. So if I have some sort of deep anger issue going on inside me and we have sex, we touch on that, we bring love to that space during our sex, that comes up to the surface to be healed, and I'm going to experience a whole lot of anger. Or we free up all this energy during our sex life, and then suddenly there's, like we're experiencing right now, a whole lot of wonderful projects coming our way to work through.
Oh yeah, we channel that energy.
So we realize that this is a tool, and we don't want to be using this tool inappropriately. If we start having sex again, frequently now, we would be massively inundated. We have so many projects and so much important stuff happening right now. We started having sex, suddenly we'd have even more on our plate.
And it's not so much that, there's so many projects. It's more about processing a lot of our emotions and processing a lot of our past trauma and healing that has come up through various channels, not just through making love together. And I think that's a big piece of it. It's like, if we keep throwing more and more stuff on top of our pile, we just feel like we're drowning in our stuff, and it doesn't feel good. Like, what is the purpose of sex in a relationship? It can be used as a seed for love, but it is not love. Sex is just an act. It doesn't mean it's loving or that it's about love. So it's all your intention, and I believe that sex is meant to be used to bring us up to higher levels of consciousness and bring us more fully into our divinity. Although one of the caveats is that this sexual path, and I don't mean just celibacy, but is not for everyone, meaning not everybody is blessed with having sex bring them to their ascension. Sometimes sex can be used to take people away from their ascension. It just depends on what the deal was with your soul when you first incarnated in this lifetime. For me, I've never really been a sex maniac or a nympho, I've enjoyed sex, and I do, and I love being erotic and sensual, but it's very, I'm very sensitive. It's not, it's hard for me to put this in words right now, and I'm wondering if any of you out there, any of you ladies can relate to this.
Or gentlemen.
Or gentlemen, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's just, our experience.
Like, I'm a very sexual being, but I don't need to have lots of sex.
Yeah, how are you channeling the energy?
Yeah, and it's not channeling the energy because I'm suppressing it or that we're suppressing it. It's just the design of our souls at this time in our life. I think I feel like this has to do with maturity as well. How sex is a very powerful energy, and you can use it constructively or use it destructively. So always be conscious about when you're entering into a sexual act, where you're at, what you're thinking, what are the intentions. So
we said the next time we have sex, we're going to sit down and plan it and say, okay, is our life ready for that ascension energy in our life?
Yeah.
Yes? Well, okay, then let's consciously choose to have sex. And is it not? And like right now, well, let's consciously choose not to have sex.
So this brings up another really important point that I want to lay out on the table is, if our sex is designed to bring us into our ascension, well, what happens to our sex life when we have reached that ascended state? And we found out that we won't need to have sex. Did you want to say something?
No,
okay, look, we get something to say. But yeah, and I've spoken to my guides about this and to Divine Mother, and some of the Ascended Master books that I'm reading in the Saint Germain Green Book series, and I think Masters of the Far East. There's a few of them. Yogananda too was celibate, and I met Yogananda actually on the other side when I was traveling out of my body, and he's transcended sexual behavior and sexual urges. Like, it's not even there. It was very interesting, and I'm still learning more about this piece, and as I learn more, I definitely would like to present it on the table. And if anybody has any questions about this or about more about our celibacy, I just want to say it's really easy for us. It's not hard. It's
kind of a relief when we
It's
realize
actually a
this.
relief, really. There's no sexual pressure in this relationship at all. I don't have to do any sexual act to please my man.
And I don't have to be any sort of sexual performance to please my woman and keep her around.
Yeah.
And prevent her from trying to eye another man.
It's really liberating.
Yeah, we went through this for a while, like,
yeah, we did.
what's going on with our sex life? Shaleia, is there something wrong with me? I'm like, is there something wrong with me? We're trying to figure this out, and it wasn't until today that we did a really nice card reading.
Yeah.
And discovered that, this is an Ascension tool, and our bodies are rejecting this experience because our lives can't handle more of that now.
Yeah, and I like that too, because I never really enjoyed having sex just to have sex. It's really intense for me. I'm a very sensitive being, an empath, and my vagina is very sensitive. And in the past, in previous relationships, I experienced a lot of negative energy going inside of me when we were making love, and it just took me down into the gutter. It was not fun, and I was experiencing similar symptoms with him, except I wasn't getting any negative energy. And I was like, what is this? Why does it feel so intense down there? And like, why is my vagina getting swollen and like not wanting to receive his penis? Well, I was getting the same thing but opposite. I was being so filled up with light and good that I could only take in so much, where it was like way too intense. I'm like, whoa, I gotta digest whatever I just received from you. So I need some time, honey, before I can proceed.
It's hard for me to like take that and say, am I doing something wrong? Am I hurting her? Am I approaching her?
That's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. So, I think we're done talking on this subject, and I'm really glad that we are opening up and sharing about our sex life and our choices and where we're at as a couple with our sex life. So if you have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to put them in the box below. And was there anything else? Did you want to add anything?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So thank you for joining us this week, or for this video. We look forward to seeing you in another one.
Aloha.
Aloha.